All right, so our next guest is one half of the class of 2020 that was elected into the Cleveland Browns Legends program. In his 12 years in the NFL, he amassed 563 receptions for 8,111 yards and 44 touchdowns. Boys, please help me welcome Webster Slaughter.
Woo! Let's go.
Webster in the house.
Webster. All right, Webster, thanks so much for joining us. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Thanks for you guys having me on this show.
Yeah, no problem. Now, before we get into some of the questions that we have for you, we do want to talk about one thing here. You are going to be on the Browns fan cruise in March of 2024. That is confirmed, stamped, signed, sealed, delivered. You're there. So we do have to say, being that we're brought to you by the Cleveland Browns fan cruise, we're the official podcast of the Cleveland Browns fan cruise. We are going to be on the fan cruise. We're going to be emceeing the events on the fan cruise. I just want to say we're really, really excited to share that fan cruise with a legend like yourself. So we are looking forward to that. And can you tell the fans just a little bit of what they have to look forward to being on that cruise?
Well, just like you, man, I'm excited for this. This is a long time coming because you never get a chance really to thank fans the way that they should be thanked, because all the stuff that they brought us through every season that we were there, all the encouragement that they gave to us. Now we get an opportunity to see them and shake their hands and say, hey, man, thank y'all for being such great fans. I really look forward to just mingling with them a little bit. I know we'll have some other players on there, not just me, maybe about 15, 16 players on there. So it's a good opportunity for us to kind of get amongst the fans for a few days and just hang out, man, have a good time.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I'm sure we will probably come back to we will come back to the Browns fan cruise later on in the interview. But for now, we want to talk a little bit about you. So you've got a pretty interesting story here. Is it true that you only played high school football for 1 year?
Yes, sir. And the only way I got on the field was the football coach saw me in a pickup game in the gym playing basketball and asked me if I would come out. And I first said no, and then he talked me into it. I ended up coming out, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that he talked you into it because, or else we wouldn't have all these great stories. But tell us a little bit about that journey. I mean, from a single year of high school football to being drafted into the NFL, kind of take us through that and where you went along the way and what that looked like.
Well, it's really funny because that year, that was my senior year that he came into that gym. Well, I hadn't played any sports up until that year. And then my senior year, I played 4 sports, track, baseball, basketball, and then football, and became really, really good in all of them, even making all-star teams and MVPs in that single year. And so I left there still having no place to go. The team that I played was a team that hadn't won a game in 5 years. And so no one was really looking at me at this particular time. So I had made the decision. I was going to Stanislaus, and I was going to play baseball. And I ran across a junior college coach at San Joaquin Delta, Coach Jack Jordan. And he got a hold of me, and he said, hey, man, if you come and play football for me, I guarantee that after 2 years of you playing under me, you'll get a scholarship. And so I made that decision to do that. Got there, and just like he said, man, we had a couple great years, tops in the States, a couple years there, and I got a scholarship there to San Diego State. I wasn't even starting my junior year when I first got there. I got there my junior year, and someone got hurt in the third game. Third game, they put me in, first pass to me, I turned up the sideline for a touchdown, and that was that. And went on there to make All-American, and then the Browns, with their pick, by advice of Paul Warfield, chose me with their first pick.
Wow!
Oh yeah! So talk about taking advantage of every opportunity. I mean,
oh man, it was awesome.
I don't think anybody does it better than you, Webster.
I mean, that's quite a journey. I mean, was there a moment there where you really set your sights on I could be in the NFL? Like this is a reality for me.
There was when I was in junior college and came over to San Diego State. Uh, when I had got thrown into the game after the third game of the season, I got thrown into the game when I scored that touchdown. Well, the rest of that year, I ended up leading the team in receptions. And so I thought right then, after that junior campaign, that I was able to get into the National Football League. I knew it was going to take a lot of work still, but I thought I had everything I needed to work on and become a top receiver.
It's awesome.
Awesome. And so, you mentioned getting drafted by the Browns. You did play for the Browns from 86 to 91. So tell us a little bit about your time with the team here.
Man, I don't have enough time to tell you about it. It was
the abbreviated version.
I had a great time. I heard all the things when I came there. All my friends and all the people who thought they knew about Cleveland told me how much I would not like it. It's too cold there. It's dirty there. Fans are not good there. They were absolutely wrong on all counts. It was cold. They were right about that. But that's something I learned from being from California. I learned to endure, and really, if that was the worst of it, that was the best time of my life, spending those 6 years there in Cleveland. So I'd do it all over again if I had the opportunity to do it.
That's awesome.
And those are some of that. I mean, just that pocket of time. I mean, the team was good. The city was on fire. I mean, can you speak to just the way the city just kind of came together around that football team?
Well, when I got there, man, the whole team was young. Everybody was young, and everybody was hungry. And we had great coaches. We had great players on both sides of the ball. And the camaraderie that we had in the locker room and away from the field when we're out in the community was just something that I'd never experienced before, not even before that or after that. And that was the thing I enjoyed the most. And that's the thing I really missed the most is hanging out with the guys before, during, and after the games. The fans base there. That's another experience that you can't even explain. I've been on 5 different football teams in my league, in my career rather, and none of them measured up to the Browns, to the Dog Pound. It was just unbelievable the support that they gave you and how you felt it when you actually were playing on game day. It's what really drove us.
That's awesome. First person kind of view of what it's like to be in front of those fans. So that's really cool. Your breakout season was 1989 when you set a team record that stood all the way until 2007. Can you tell us a little bit about that season specifically?
Yeah, that was a good season. We had gotten a new offensive coordinator. I can't even remember his name, but excuse me for that. That's one of those issues with me. But anyway, that year we got a new offensive coordinator, and man, this guy knew what he was doing. Before we had Schottenheimer, which Schottenheimer was more of a defensive coach. We did have Lindy Infante, which was really good offensive coordinator, but he left at that time, and we had a new guy. Schaffner came in there, and he wasn't the guy that this guy was. His name was Mark, I believe. And, man, we just changed the whole offense up, and I was able to do more things down the field rather than just underneath. And it really opened up my game, who I really was, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And yeah, I mean, that was a big season for you. Obviously, like I said, that record stood a long, long time. Do you know who broke that record?
I do not.
It was Braylon Edwards. There's a name for you.
Braylon Edwards.
Yep.
Now, how long did Braylon stay there?
Braylon was here how many years? 4?
I think it was his first contract. Yeah.
I think he got his rookie contract, and after that, he was gone.
Had that good year with Derek Anderson.
Yep. So, but spending time with the franchise, it's obviously more than just playing for the team. You become involved with your teammates off the field, your community. So, with that in mind, do you have a favorite off-field memory from your time with the Cleveland Browns?
Oh wow, off-field memory. There was so many, man. What I really loved about playing for the Browns was that in the off season we had a basketball team. I don't know if you guys know that, but the Browns had a basketball team, and we would travel to different cities in Ohio. We go all over. We play different NFL teams. We play policemen. We play firemen. We play college all-stars. And just that, man, hanging out with each other, taking the bus ride together to the game, hanging out with other players. I really, really enjoyed that. And, just being from California in a small town like Stockton, never leaving that place and spending a whole off season right there in Ohio, it was something different for me. It was exciting. And just the chance to hang out with my teammates, man, that was probably the best memories I had.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know there's basketball. You're probably not allowed to do that nowadays. With all the stipulations and contracts and things like that. But that's really cool. That's something I would have never known without this story. So, thanks for the insight into some of the things that went on in the league. Do you have any advice for current players, especially like the younger players, with all of your experience that you've had?
Well, I would tell them, unlike what I did, just be open. You know what I'm saying? I had a mindset coming in, and no one was gonna mess with me. No one was gonna step on my toes. If they did, they was gonna hear about it. And I didn't really feel like the first year or two I really enjoyed myself the way that I should have. And so, if I had to give them advice, I would say be open to all the opportunities, all the things that go on as a rookie. Sometimes they're gonna try to take advantage of you and do certain things. Man, have fun with it, enjoy it, and your experience and your life in the National Football League will be much better for it.
Great advice there. Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to take a quick step back. So you said you only played really sports your senior year of high school. So were you a sports fan at all? Did you root for teams out in California, or did you just not have any interest growing up? Or
I was raised by a single mother, and she had 6 kids, and she worked a couple of jobs. So it was hard to get me to a place to sign up for anything.
Gotcha.
I lived directly across the street from a gym. So I played these sports all the time in the city leagues and was really good. I knew the people that were playing on the teams in high school. I knew I was better than most of them in all of the sports but I never got a chance like they did to sign up and play on these teams. And this opportunity came across, and I didn't pass it.
Got it.
Nice. And it's always so interesting hearing all the stories that all these players had, especially ex-Cleveland Browns players, ex-Cleveland Browns legends like yourself. But I know for most guys, there is kind of this second life after football, where they some of them even say they actually start their lives then. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're up to today? I hear that you're an ordained minister.
Yes, sir. I am an ordained pastor at King's Pavilion Ministries right here in Missouri City. We love, lead, and listen. One of the ministry deals that I do is every week I go to senior living facilities and we do Bible studies there, both on the memory care side and on the independent side. And we really enjoyed hanging out with those seniors. We went over there Sunday. Matter of fact, after church, me and my wife went over and talked to a few of them then, and they just like the encouragement the same way anybody likes to be encouraged. Sometimes they need prayer. Sometimes they need being lifted up. When you get older, you start to wonder, why am I still here? And so I can encourage them that way, that they still obviously have a reason, a purpose that they're here. And so I love doing those types of things.
Yeah, and Kenny and I actually, fun story. Back in our younger years, we worked at a senior living facility. Good old Maria Joe's in Dayton area, and so yeah, we have a little bit of insight into exactly what you're talking about as far as the encouragement and the activities, and kind of the interaction that you can bring to seniors and how much it really means to them.
That's the thing that I always took away was like, you can make a really big difference in a small amount of time with somebody.
Absolutely. And before I was even doing the Bible studies there, I was an activities director for 3 years at one of them, and then for 3 years at another one, I was there. And when I was there, I was doing Bible studies then. But once I didn't work there any further, I continued the Bible studies, and then finally got ordained and went through our ministry, and still doing it today.
Now, can I ask you, do you integrate stories and things that you learned from your playing days, like with lessons and things that you're teaching?
Yeah, absolutely. How can you not? All that stuff comes up. You learn so much growing up, and that was most of the time where I grew up when I was in the National Football League. So yeah, you correlate different stories to what goes on in life. The trials of faith and stuff like that. Stuff you have to endure and overcome, and they relate to it very well.
I mean, that's a congregation with bragging rights, right? Like my pastor,
Yeah.
my pastor's an NFL legend. Like you got to be about the coolest pastor out there.
Yeah, and I mean that's really awesome that you're doing that. Like you both said, such a small thing can make such a big difference. But to kind of, our unfortunately our time is starting to come to an end here, so I want to bring things back to the time that we're going to get to share on the open ocean and a couple amazing stops along the way in March of 2024. Let's talk about some of the things that everyone should look forward to on the inaugural Browns fan cruise. So what event or activity during the entire cruise, what event or activity are you looking forward to most yourself?
Well, I don't know all the events that the Browns are putting on. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of them because we're going to be occupied by you guys at least a few hours each day doing different events. I'm a domino guy, so if we got any domino players out there, bring your dominoes, man, because I'm gonna be ready to take you out.
Nice. Well, we are sailing out of Cuba, or out of Cuba. I'm sorry, we're not sailing out of Cuba. We're sailing out of Miami. And if you go to the Cuban area over there, they have domino tournaments, all kinds of things. You gonna be making a stop before we go on the cruise?
Oh man, I'm all for it, Doc. I talk trash with the best of them, so I can't wait.
And so, that if there's a domino tournament, we know you're going to be dominating the dominoes. But what event or activity do you think the fans should be looking forward to the most?
I don't know. I think it's going to be fun regardless of what they're doing because we're going to be mingling with everybody. We're going to be mingling with them and they're going to be mingling with us. I know we're going to have maybe some basketball competition or something like that. Not a game, obviously, but some other stuff going on. When we get off the ship, we'll have stuff that we do when we get off the ship at these different resorts. We'll have signings where they can come and get autographs from us, from different jerseys or maybe footballs or maybe pictures. They'll have an opportunity also to sit at dinner with us on certain nights. So that's going to be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I look forward to it and just saying hello to some of the people.
Yeah, it does seem like just the access to the team, to alumni, is going to be unique and not like many other events that have ever been put on. So I think this is going to be a really, really cool event.
I think this is the first of its kind. I've never heard of anything like this. I don't know why they hadn't thought of this earlier, but this is a good opportunity for us to say thank you and for the fans to kind of appreciate everything that's going on with the Browns over the years.
Yeah. Now, if they do put a pickup game together, can you still hoop?
Absolutely. I haven't done it for a few years, but I'm sure I can hit a 3 or 2.
And he talks trash with the best of them, so he's gonna. Even if he's not hitting those threes, he's at least
gonna
have the trash talk.
Even if I'm not hitting the rim, I can do that.
All right, so we know that there is a competition for Browns backers organizations out there right now for this fan cruise. Some of the terms are not terms per se, but the what the winners get. The chapter with the most bookings will get an all expenses paid balcony cabin for 2 on the Browns fan cruise. The chapter with the highest members to bookings ratio also gets an all expenses paid ocean view cabin for 2. All members of the winning chapter will receive a specialty dining pass for 2 guests, and all members of the winning chapter will receive a Browns fan cruise commemorative Cleveland Browns autographed football. So, my question to you, Webster, do you have anything you want to say specifically to Browns backers across the nation and around the world?
Let me first just say that how much we love you guys and how important you are to the Browns and to building us up and to letting people know who the Browns is. I've been in different places in New York, in Canada, in Hollywood, all of these Brown backers opportunity, and it's crazy there, man. I couldn't believe I went to Canada. It was crazy how the support is for the fans. I mean, for the Cleveland Browns, and so I want them to understand how important they are to the Browns, to their players. That if you got an opportunity to get on this ship, do not miss it, because this is something once of a lifetime, and we get a chance to shake your hand, say thank you, and we get to mingle and have a little fun. Those of you who have a drink or two, you can do that, and we'll just hang out.
Yeah, and they are such a big deal, and they do push the Browns name everywhere. Do you have any final words for the rest of Browns Nation?
Well, rest of Browns Nations. Hopefully, most of y'all take advantage of this opportunity. That's what I'm going to say to Browns Nation. I love you guys. Obviously, I tell you guys that every opportunity I get, how much fun I had playing before you. But man, don't miss this trip, because now instead of seeing me from the field waving or seeing Bernie Kosar run across the field and waving, I don't know if Bernie's coming on the cruise or not, but you'll be right up close and you can shake their hand and they can shake your hand, and it's just going to be different, man. And so if you got the opportunity to get there, get there.
Awesome.
I've got two things. One, I just want to let you know, you're like my mom's like all-time favorite. I grew up to her singing it. There's all these like Browns chants that were, I guess, popular, during the 80s. She's always singing the Slaughters in the end zone and he's looking fine. Like I grew up like her just singing that. So she's going to die when I tell her we got a conversation. And then just real quick thoughts on the Browns season this year. Just what are you looking forward to, and what do you think they're going to do?
I'm excited, looking to see what they would do. I know last year didn't go exactly how we planned it to go, but I think Deshaun is, ready this year. I'm looking forward to him doing much better. The receivers around him, the tight end, that offensive line is awesome. The running backs, the defense now. Defense is ready to go. I saw a couple of the new preseason game, and they looked outstanding in a couple of excerpts that I saw in that. So, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I think that we are in a tough division, but doesn't matter, man. You got to play tough people in the National Football League. You got to be ready, and we got to be the dogs that we are every time we step on there on Sunday, and be ready to attack and don't stop until we're in that locker room.
Hell yes.
That might be the best sounder that I've ever. We'll cut that and play it over and over again on our show.
Yep. And so, I mean, it's been a real pleasure having you, Webster. Some of your stories are just phenomenal. I could sit here and listen to you all day, and I know you said you could go on all day, but you've got a family, you got 4 kids that you got to get back to. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm sure you got a lot going on, so we're gonna let you go, but we do want to thank you for joining us. We can't wait to see you on the Browns Fan Cruise.
Time to party.
Okay, we appreciate it. We look for you. Bring your dominoes. I'll be ready.
We will.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye. I'm Webster Slaughter, and we're listening to Burning River Podcast. Go Browns!
Browns fans, celebrate your favorite team aboard Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. You'll set sail March 11th through March 16th, 2024. You'll be joined by dozens of Browns alumni, chomps, and hundreds of other Browns fans as we embark on a 5-day cruise visiting both the Bahamas and Jamaica. Your all-inclusive vacation is waiting. Spots are limited, and registration is now open at brownsfancruise.com.